Hello, lovely people. Welcome to today's episode of The Legend. The Legend is a very educative program where we get to showcase Ghanaians who are making a difference in all aspects of their life. It could be in education, profession, or in the society. We have a very special person today, very young man, handsome. He's very popular and he's doing a lot in his community. He's actually making a difference. I'm quite sure that you want to watch him today, and therefore stick in your chairs and I'll be back shortly. Welcome back. Right, Mr. Justice Champon.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Thank you for coming on the show today.
Yeah, no problem.
Right.
Thanks for inviting me.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. I feel good.
You feel good?
Yeah,
You sure?
I feel good, yeah.
All
A
right.
little nervous, but I think I'll be fine.
Nervous? Just sit back and shake a little bit. Shake it
Yeah.
out. You'll be fine, okay? Right, so who is Mr. Justice Champon?
I am a creative. I'm currently in the fashion industry, fashion designer. I was always artistic growing up. I went to school for graphic design,
Okay.
and I always wanted to sort of, was floated in my mind about getting into fashion, but after school, getting employment in an industry that I wanted to get employment in was a little bit challenging.
All right.
So I saw the opportunity to to make the move and go into the fashion industry, and that's the reason why I kind of came into it. Because of an opportunity, I didn't necessarily go to school to become a fashion designer. I went to school to become a graphic designer, which is kind of related, but I switched industry because of an opportunity that I saw to sort of make a difference and do something unique that nobody was doing yet.
All right. So before we dive a little bit more into your graphic designing or clothing line, right? Just tell us a little bit more about your growing up. Were you born here? Were you born in Ghana or?
I was born here. I was born in Quebec. After like a month, I was taken to Ghana.
Right.
So was it a month or a year? I don't really remember the exact day, but it was like I was still very young. And I went to Ghana, then I came back and I went again. So collectively, I lived in Ghana for like 5 years. So I got to learn the language while I was there, the culture. And I saw many things. I saw the way people wear their clothes, the way we tell stories. I just kind of grew up with the culture, so I learned a lot while I was still there. And so when I came back up here, so as part of why I wanted to start my brand is I wanted to sort of replicate some of the things that I saw while I was there, to help the younger generation like myself sort of continue with our culture. Because after being here for so long, because I came back when I was 10, and now in my late 20s. So after being here for so long, it's like you begin to lose certain things about your culture. Yeah, so that was part of the opportunity that I saw to get into this industry, because I found that because of the way we wear our culture in Africa, I could use that as a way to help people remind themselves of who they are through their clothing. Yeah.
Okay, right. So, was growing up very tough, or were you like kind of a pampered child, kind of thing?
Um, it's kind of strange. I'm from a very dysfunctional family, but I never started out that way. In Ghana, my family on my mom's side is very wealthy.
Okay.
So when I was there, I lived large. It was beautiful. It was nice. I didn't know struggling or anything like that. It was a beautiful big house. It was just everything you ever wanted, you can have it. I had a huge room to myself. It was so big that I was scared to sleep by myself at night.
You mean back home in Ghana?
In Ghana, yeah.
So life was good, eh?
Yeah, we had everything. Like it was just amazing.
So there was no reason to even come here.
There was no reason to come here. But
would you love to go back home maybe because of the big house you have there?
Yeah, I would. But the thing what happened is that after I came up here to I kind of came up here because I had a health issue and I had to come up here to sort of have it rectified. Because there's a better health system up here. But once I got here, I kind of got stuck here. Lived with my mom, and it was a different lifestyle because up here, I guess a lot of people who immigrate from Africa, in the beginning it's a little bit tough.
That's true.
So the neighborhood that I lived in and everything was not up to par with kind of like the lifestyle that I had in Ghana. And so I was living in for a long time, I lived in government housing or a low income neighborhood, where there's a lot of crime. It's tough there. It's not what I was used to, so so it's kind of been really, really hard, I
Hard.
guess. My culture and my upbringing back home is what kind of kept me grounded.
Wow.
Yeah.
So are you trying to say that back home was easier as compared to here due to where you were living?
But yeah, due to my surroundings and being
Exactly.
disconnected from that
Yeah.
bigger family unit, and
Mm.
yeah, I just felt like it tore apart. For me, I feel like coming here tore apart our family. That's what I feel like.
All right then.
Before then, our family was really close, but when everybody sort of went abroad, it became very dysfunctional and it tore apart our family. And it's like now it's very hard to go back to that place that I described.
Okay.
I really can't necessarily go back
But
to
that's
it.
okay.
But
That's okay. It's all part of life, right?
It's part of life.
Wonderful, right? So, are you a business owner right now? Like you work for your own self, or?
Yeah, right now I'm working on my own business in Annecy.
Okay.
And it's a fashion-based business. And what it does is that it takes storytelling and enriches it with fashion to help tell stories through clothing. And it's the African art form of storytelling through textiles that I was able to pick up while I was there. And that was actually from a story my mom told me, because I was asking her how these textiles started, and she was telling me the story about the two brothers who saw the spider on their way from the farm.
Yeah.
And I think the brothers' names were Nana Ameyao and Nana Karagu. And who saw a spider weaving its web on the way from the farm one day. And so then they took that inspiration from nature, and the way the spider weaves its web, went home and started practicing on raffia leaves, cotton, and different things like that, and came up with kente and, some textiles like that. And I was like, wow, that's just an amazing story, right?
Wow.
Because I knew back then that Nancy was...
Well, yeah, to be honest with you, I know about Nancy, but I didn't even know about that story.
Exactly.
That's new to me, though.
Most people know Nancy is the symbol of storytelling, and you're used as a folk character to tell a lot of stories to children and things like that. But Nancy is also the symbol for textile making as well, in clothing.
And that's for the kente, right?
That's for like kente and textiles and things like that. And so for me, it connected, and I was like storytelling, story, textiles. Kente already does that because kente is all the symbols already, so we already tell stories through kente. So I was like, how can I build a brand around the story aspect of fashion, which for me I saw that nobody was really doing.
So why not?
I saw a need for it because, again, after you're up here for so long, you begin to lose your culture. So how can I use that as a way to tell our story in order to continue to instill cultures in newer generations?
That's right.
So that we don't completely lose ourselves.
All right. So that was the reason you chose the name Anansi for your company,
That's
right?
the reason why I chose the name Anansi.
All right. Yeah. And then you did mention about storytelling. Do you tell stories as well as part of the service you?
Yeah. So we try to. My goal is to try and feature people's stories. And also to be able to tell stories through the fashion itself. So, for example, this is one of the hats that I designed.
Okay.
It says "Wear your story inside," and you can see the three colors, Pan-African colors, but it's also the Ghanaian colors we've adopted too. Originally comes from the Ethiopian flag, but also the Marcus Garvey flag of Africa. But in Ghana, we have minions that we've given the colors. The red is for blood. The lineage and the bloodshed. Also, the green is for the nature of the land. And the gold is for the currency and the gold and the currency and the resources of our land. So that right there tells a story. And when you put them together, it becomes the colors of African freedom and unification.
That's right.
And liberation when they're together. And so, these are the type of stories I want to tell through symbology. And, I put them together with symbols. Kente already does that and has been doing that for centuries. And so, this piece here, it's a sweater that I designed that's based upon a classic.
Can I take a look at it?
Yeah, sweater I designed based upon a classic kente pattern, and it uses modern technology to weave it, but it has a classic symbology that people recognize from textiles in Ghana. And this symbol is Babadria, and it stands for resiliency.
You mean the green one in the middle?
All of them together.
All of them together.
But as I explained, it's also the red, gold, green flag as well. So there's a lot of layers.
Wow, I can tell you're very knowledgeable, right? Because I didn't even know that. Even though I grew up in Ghana, I didn't even know that.
Exactly.
And is there any meaning for the symbol here as well?
Yeah, definitely. This is a symbol of the dondo, which is the drum, as you can see. And this is the symbol for Achem. Achem means shields in Ghana. So, for example, my name, my last name is Achampong.
Yeah.
So Achem is the shields. Apong is, the governor. So these type of things is just a way of communicating a visual language that we've been practicing for centuries.
So that's more like a sweater, right?
Yeah, this is a sweater.
Oh, okay.
And it has the stories, and it's also urban, and young guys they can wear it and still have your culture represented and feel like
that's
you're still cool.
Yeah, that's right. That's very innovative, right? So, do you have anything else to show today?
Yeah, so I also have the hat I was describing earlier, and it has the flags that I was talking about.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about the logo too, because the Anansi logo is the eight-legged spider.
Yeah.
But I designed it based upon the male and female ancestors, which is you can see on my shirt, the ancestral mother and ancestral father.
Wow.
Yeah, as you can see too, I've already done it here, so you can see the head.
That's the symbol there as well?
Yeah, the symbol is there as well. So over here you can see like the head, the two arms, and the two legs.
That's right.
And then over here too, you can see the head, two arms, and two legs. So this is the ancestral father. The ancestral mother is on top. And when you put it together, it becomes the eight-legged spider. And so it's a way of paying homage to the ancestors who actually invented this way of making textiles.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do you like kind of practically do this yourself, or?
So my main job as a designer. So I design the clothes, I plan, I curate styles that I want to do, and I send my designs off, and I partner up with manufacturers who are able to weave it with the machine and everything like that. So I have partnerships both here and abroad, and that's how I sort of get my designs done.
Oh wow! Right. So you're here with Justice Champo. He's actually a clothing line designer. He has a few designs here. The sweater made with this symbol from Ghana.
Yeah.
And then he has another symbol, which is the Dondo symbol here as well, right? Yeah. He also has the Anansi symbol here as well. Yeah. We're just going to go for a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll learn more about Legend Justice. Stay tuned. Welcome back. So, Justice, is there any other name I can call you than Justice?
Well, my Ghanaian name is Kofi.
Kofi?
That's like the typical Ghanaian name that a lot of people have based upon the day they were born. I was born on Friday, so mine's Kofi. I also go by Sifo, which is like the Ghanaian version of justice. It's also a symbol, and the Dinkra symbol actually, so it means justice. It has more meaning, so I like it better than the justice version.
Right? But I think I like this Sipo. Is it Sipo you said?
Yeah, Sipo.
Sipo. I think I like that as well. So I'll go by Sipo, right?
Yeah,
Hope you don't mind.
Yeah, we can go ahead.
So are there any challenges you can share with us today regarding, having your own business?
I mean, plenty. I mean, when you're young, the inexperience factor is there. I think some of the ways that I try to deal with that challenge is trying to have mentors that can help me out with more experience. Also fundraising. When you're still in a business like this, fashion business is very expensive. I've come to think after, working on this for a little bit over a year that whatever money you project, you're gonna need 3 times more money than that.
That's true. So you've been in for a year, right?
Yeah, just preparing and starting up and planning all that kind of stuff and raising funds and all that kind of stuff. So. Yeah, so that's like another challenge. You're constantly looking to raise funds because fashion is quite a bit
expensive, right?
Yeah.
So are you already getting some income coming already, or through sales, or nothing yet?
So right now I'm in the startup process. So I'm going to be launching for Black History Month is going to be my launch push.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right then. So you have all plans in place to get this launched?
Yes, I already planned in place. You're going to see a lot of the pieces that we kind of showed today for my launch, and I'm going to be adding to it every few months, adding different new pieces to it, the collection.
So what is your goal? Is this just going to be domestic, or is it going to go international?
International for sure.
For sure, right?
My goal is to create something unique, targeted at people of African descent worldwide, that Pan-African sort of flavor. Yeah. To help people connect with their culture and to their ancestral roots. Oh, wow. And so that was the reason why I did this. And so African people all over the world, there's like I think 1.5 billion of us.
Yeah, I know.
So the market is really, really huge. I want to speak a language that means something to them.
Sounds great.
And be able to bring modern manufacturing to West Africa, to be able to produce some of the world-class and more modern ways of textile making too. Yeah. That's one of the main goals.
That's great. So do you do anything apart from this kind of business?
Yeah, I give other things that I do is I work in the community, so I volunteer my time as a creative coordinator with a girls organization called Product Girls Organization, and that's how I sort of get back my time when I'm not doing this.
All right, then, yeah. And do you have any hobbies? Maybe something you do in your leisure?
I like to read a lot.
You read a lot. I
Yeah,
can tell.
yeah.
I can tell
I
you
like
read
to
a
read a
lot,
lot
right? Yeah.
on history to be able to explain and sell and market
Exactly.
some other
Yeah.
stuff so that I'll understand exactly what I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
and how to communicate the stories to people who are interested in it.
That's
So for me,
right.
I love learning the history, African and Black history,
I can
so that
tell.
I will be able to really communicate and motivate those who are.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love reading, I love meditating, thinking, being in a quiet space, clearing my mind. Those are my main sort
Main
of
thing that you do,
hobbies.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. What inspires you to wake up every morning?
Just a chance to be able to finally be able to get this out there in front of people,
Mm.
to create a unique something that is for us,
Mhm.
for people of African descent, for Black people
Wow.
worldwide, to be able to create um, an avenue for economic opportunity
That's
for not
right.
just myself but for my community,
All right.
and to
That's
do
good.
things that are empowering to us.
All right. So
Yeah,
that's your inspiration,
that's
right?
my
Do you
inspiration.
have any Facebook pages or Instagram pages where we can actually get connected to you?
Yeah, I love for people to follow me on Instagram
All right.
at Nancy Clothing.
Anansi? Okay.
Yeah, just kind of how it's spelled on my
All
shirt.
right then. So it's
Yeah,
gonna be Anansi Clothing, right? On
yeah,
Instagram,
on
right? And
Instagram.
on Facebook?
Facebook, that hasn't launched yet, but website, ananticlothing.com, is going to be
Oh.
launching soon again within a month, for Black History Month, February. So you guys can watch out for that.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
right. And so watch out for that. Very soon it's gonna be launched. And it's Anansi Clothing, right?
Yes.
Right. So what are gonna be your final words to inspire someone who is looking to set up his or her own business?
I think if you have a dream, you should definitely go for it. One of the main things that I've learned is to believe in yourself and to be consistent with your belief.
Wow.
Consistent meaning that, sometimes when you're believing in yourself, you're trying to start something, you feel the need to rely on what somebody else says or what people try to validate what we're trying to do. And I think there's some of that is important, especially when it comes to testing out your product. You need your market to validate that your product is a product market fit,
That's
that
right.
your product's actually going to work in the market. So that's important from the people who are actually going to buy from you.
That's right.
I'm talking about supporters.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you are your biggest supporter. You have to always remember that. Because some people will start with you and eventually they'll drop off.
That's
And
right.
it's very strange when somebody believes in you in the beginning, and then let's say 6 months down the road, they begin to backtrack.
That's right.
That's very, very strange.
That's right.
Because usually you think people are going to believe in you or not.
That's
But then the
right.
people even who believe in you might also not believe in you after a certain while.
That's
And
right.
that can really throw you off guard. So I
Yeah.
think one of the biggest lessons I've learned is to just continue to believe in yourself and to stay consistent.
Wow.
Because it's a up and down journey. It sounds good in the end to come and talk about business and all that kind of stuff, but it's incredibly hard.
That's right.
So we have to just stay consistent, stay motivated,
Yeah.
stay within your purpose and your gifts, and just your vision, have a vision and a goal, and just keep going. It's okay if you fall,
Yeah.
just keep going.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's okay if you fall, but keep going.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Okay, thank you so
Justice.
much for having me.
Lovely people, so this is the end of today's show. We had on the show Justice, who's a young guy, very talented, and he's actually in his clothing line. I'm quite sure you enjoyed the show today. It's going to be the same next week, same time. Stay tuned.